WNYathletics.com would like to thank today's sponsors. Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Ready to sell your home? Visit howardhanna.com today. Howard Hanna. Home happens here. Western New York Immediate Care, with 4 convenient locations in the Buffalo area: Amherst, Buffalo, Depew, Lancaster, and Orchard Park. Western New York Immediate Care is now offering telemedicine services to provide you care anytime, anywhere. Visit WNY Immediate Care on-site or virtually at WNYimmediatecare.com. Logistics Plus Buffalo is your go-to resource for all your transportation needs. LP moves freight of all shapes and sizes all across the world. Call LP Buffalo today at 716-877-9653 or email buffalo@logisticsplus.com. AdPro Sports. AdPro is the largest team sports dealers and brand merchandise providers in the nation. For a variety of custom merchandise solutions, from apparel to promotional items, visit adprosports.com. Empire Electric. For all your home, business, or office electrical needs, call Empire Electric at 716-634-0330. Free estimates and financing available for all customers. Empire Electric. Call 716-634-0330.
A good Thursday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lakeshore High School for the first football game of the 2022 high school season in Western New York. Good to have you with us here on Western New York Athletics. I'm Jack Cruiser, joined by first-time color man Mike Fata, joining us for the 2022 season. Mike, good to have you with us today.
It's great to be here. It's exciting having a new season in front of us, and there's nothing like the first game.
So we'll take a look at our two teams today. The Lakeshore Eagles entering, of course, 0-0 in the first game of the 2022 season. Last year finished with a 1-8 record, 1-5 in the B South Division. Those divisions have since changed, as their opponents today, the Dunkirk Marauders, were in the B South as well last year, now in separate divisions this year. Last season, the Marauders 3-6 overall, 1-5 within conference play. We've got two players to watch for today's contest. For Dunkirk, Coach, it's their running game.
Yeah, I think you're going to see contrasting styles here today. Dunkirk is definitely going to try to establish a run, whereas I think Lakeshore is going to want to spread you out a little more, but run as well. But, you know, for Dunkirk, it's going to be Nellard, number 7. It's going to be their mainstay, and I think they want to get him established early on.
For Lakeshore, they've got that steady passing attack. Some questions at quarterback we'll dive into later, but we know who their number 1 target is out wide.
Right. They're going to be looking to establish number 18 early on and get him involved in the passing game to keep Dunkirk, I think, honest.
That's Aiden Kazmarek on the outside for Lakeshore. As they introduce the officials here at Lakeshore High School, we welcome you once again to high school football here, Thursday Night Lights on Western New York Athletics. The Eagles to kick off to start the first half of play. The Dunkirk Marauders in the visiting white uniforms will receive. Should be a good one here, folks. Two teams with high expectations for this year after a building season under some new head coaches. Dan Russell entering his 5th season of the Lakeshore Eagles. Had a growing year last year out of the COVID season the year prior, as was the case for the Dunkirk Marauders and their second-year head coach, Mark Benton. We are underway in the 2022 football season. A fumble off the opening kick as it's fielded by Dylan Bankowski. Wrapped up by a swarm of Eagles just inside the 30-yard line. That's where the Marauders will start on offense.
It'll be interesting to see how early and often the Dunkirk Marauders go to the ground game. That's been their mainstay for years. I think that's going to continue in this season, but we'll see how they mix it up as we move forward here.
They'll bring out the senior starting under center. It's Noah Sykes. Just 2 starting seniors on this Dunkirk offense. It's the quarterback Sykes, who gets his first start of his career here today. And of course, the senior running back Quantier Nealard, who you see lined up in the backfield. Just 1 split out wide, it's Jarice Gaines. Under center, 1st and 10 from the 29. The handoff up the middle. Wrapped up neatly by the defense of the Eagles. Dallas Garlow in there makes the tackle.
I think it's important for Lakeshore to win on 1st down, which he just did. So against a running team like Dunkirk, you want to get that 2nd and long, 2nd and 10 in this case, and even longer that gets set them up for a decision to make on 2nd down here. At least split those chains for 3rd down.
2nd and 10 from the 29. Similar formation for the Marauders. A beautiful day in Angola, New York. Nothing but sun and sky above us. Splitting out wide is Mike Hanlon and a flag.
Well, that's one way to split the change. Looks like Lakeshore a little undisciplined there, and it's going to give a free 5 yards to Dunkirk.
Kevin Dale, the head official of today's match, signals for the 5-yard penalty to be marked off. Eric Majewski, Chase Graver, Steve Hanukkah, and Bill Smith, the other officials for today's game. So now 2nd and 5 to go at the 34-yard line. See that power run offensive formation out there for Dunkirk. Nealard in the backfield. Under center is Sykes. Hand off to Nealard. Busts up the right side. Past the 40, picks up the 1st down. Vinny Marslek on the defensive side makes the tackle. The senior rejoins the football team this season for Lakeshore. Marslek, athletic as can be. Did not play football since modified. Comes back this year, and he already makes his first tackle within the 1st drive. However, the 1st down for the Marauders. 1st and 10 at the 42. Sykes hands off to the fullback. That's Hanlon. Met there by a host of Eagles. Gavin Victor in the middle of that D-line.
Lakeshore's doing a pretty good job early on, Jack, making sure that they are clogging that middle and making sure that they don't establish a run inside on the Dunkirk side.
Helps when you get a penalty on the 1st drive as well. That offsides call enabled the Marauders to pick up that 1st down. Now 2nd and 10 from the 42. Sykes keeps it, rolls to his right. Sykes takes it himself, and he's tripped out of bounds. Marslek on the tackle.
Very good job there by the Lakeshore defense, staying disciplined. It's real easy to get your eyes in the backfield, especially against a team that's going to ground and pound you. But the Lakeshore defensive backfield did a great job of staying disciplined and watching their keys.
Lakeshore's defense running that 3-5. Now 3rd down from the 45-yard line. It's 3rd and 7. First 3rd down of the series for the Marauders. Gain split out to the top of your screen. Sykes under center. Keeps it. Rolling left. Beats 2 defenders. Still on his feet. Picks up the 1st down and gets bumped out at the 40-yard line by number 44, Jake Hopkins.
Sykes with a big run on the outside. That's a 1st down for Dunkirk.
Flag on the field. And the official, Kevin Dale, signals for the refs to move the chains back. Potentially this one coming back. Coach, did you see any late hit there on that play?
It's either that, Jack, or there might be a crackback block on the receiver, and when the quarterback decided to tuck it, the block came back towards the line of scrimmage, and it could be that as well.
Noah Sykes, an upgrade at quarterback, sat behind the senior last season, Javier DeJesus, graduated, of course, at the end of the 22 year. DeJesus was a first-year quarterback last year, had never played the position. His first drive as quarterback was on this field in week 2. He led an 80-yard drive down the field for a touchdown. Sykes looking to do the same here. You see the captain of the Lakeshore defense, Aiden Kazmarek, getting the ruling from the official, Kevin Dale. Sykes last year, 8 of 14 passing for 99 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks in limited snaps. They march off the penalty yardage. It'll bring the Marauders back inside their own territory for 3rd and long. 3rd and 13 from the 41. Coach, what are you looking for here for the Marauders? We've yet to see him pass the ball.
Well, it's interesting to see what they will do. They're a play-action team predominantly. It's a definite passing down, so we'll see what they come out. It looks like they're in the same power I formation, and again the same defense from Lakeshore. But we'll see how versatile their book is right now.
Sykes sends Hanlon out wide. Sykes stands, delivers over the middle. It's caught by the tight end, Tristan Briggs. He is tackled beyond the 50-yard line, shy of the first down marker.
So in that tight defense by Lakeshore, it was interesting. They motioned out to a pro formation and kind of took the attention off that tight end. They had a quick little pop pass there and brings up a down they're much more comfortable with.
Tristan Briggs dislocated his knee last season, playing power back predominantly. It was middle of the season against Pioneer. He popped his knee out. He comes back this year as a player to watch at the tight end position, moving bodies up front. 4th down, 2 to go from the 48-yard line. Sykes takes a snap, hand off to Nealard. He is stuffed shy, continues churning, and he's going to be short. It'll be a turnover on downs as Jake Hopkins gets in the way.
Yeah, Jake Hopkins had a big stuff there, held on, and his buddies came to help him, but he stepped in the hole, and he definitely responsible for that turnover on down.
No doubt that handoff was coming there, Coach.
Yeah, I was standing here thinking there's no way this isn't going to number 7, especially early in the season, and it looks like Jake Hopkins thought the same thing.
Well, the Eagles now send out their quarterback, sophomore number 21, Rob Gillette, getting the start over the senior Jaden Kennedy today. Handoff inside goes to Ashton Curry, bounces out to the left, wrapped up around the 50 and is taken down inside Marauder territory.
A tough run there by Curry. You see he broke a couple tackles on the way, and I heard Coach Russell on the way out here saying how they need to be the more physical team, and I know he likes to see that out of his running back.
First year running back at that, Ashton Curry, his first touch in the state of New York. Just transferred from Arizona this summer. He takes his first carry for 6. 2nd and 4 coming up inside Dunkirk territory at the 47. See the size of the running back Curry, 6'1", 180. A keeper for Gillette, takes it to the right side. Curry with a block. Gillette gets hit around the 44 and is taken down shy of the 40.
Lakeshore trying to use their numbers out there at the perimeter and got enough to get the first down. See some versatile plays out of Lakeshore early on.
Brendan Crowell, the defensive tackle, makes the play eventually. Had some help from Don Jackson and Quantier Nealard. Both linebackers on the defensive side of the Marauders. However, it's a 1st and 10 at the 42 for Lakeshore. Hand off to Curry. Met in the backfield and taken down. No hole opened up on the offensive line there. A loss of a few.
That's a loss of 3 yards. Second down.
Second down, 13 to go now from the 45. This offensive line for Lakeshore, a split between seniors and juniors. The senior Andrew Hewson, the left tackle, and Landon Bean, the right guard. Everyone else in grade 11. Trips to the left. Keeper for Gillette. Up the middle. Taken down. Ran right into the big number 67 as it was Crowell again making the play.
Got a 3rd and long here for Lakeshore. Might be a time to target their #1 receiver.
Aiden Kazmarek lines up in the slot on the left side. 2 to each side for the Eagles with Curry in the backfield. Gillette sends Kazmarek in motion. Rob rolls to his right. Looking downfield, has Kazmarek. He makes the catch. Out of bounds, inside the 15. First down for the Eagles.
Jack, I think that play is bigger than just the play itself as well. That's going to give the quarterback some confidence down the road, as well as it's going to loosen up Dunkirk. That they, coming into the game, they wanted to make Lakeshore prove that they can move the ball through the air, and I think that's early on. That's a big thing for Lakeshore to be able to establish.
The speed of Kazmarek on display on 3rd and long proves successful. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Snap to Gillette. Keeps it himself. Up the middle. Gillette to the 5. Hit a couple times on his feet. Down inside the 5-yard line. Nealard with the tackle. For a sophomore, Gillette just doesn't go down.
The quarterback counter is pretty lethal. You get the numbers at the point of attack with the defense moving the other way, and add Gillette's strong running style to that. And pretty effective there. They're down to 3-yard line.
We talked to the Marauders head coach Mark Benton prior to this game. He was planning for the senior Kennedy starting all week. Does it change anything now that Gillette's at quarterback?
So I think Gillette's more of a power runner, as you just saw. Coach Benton was concerned with the other quarterback keeping the ball in the option, but what we've seen out of the sophomore, some power runs. Different formation here too.
Gillette in shotgun with Curry behind him. Hand off to Curry, up the middle, around the goal line. Curry goes down just shy. Nate Garcia in his way on the defensive line.
That was a great late effort by Dunkirk. It looked like a foregone conclusion that they were going to run it in there, but Dunkirk still strong, and it's like 2nd and short for Lakeshore.
Big number 50 in the middle of that D-line, Nate Garcia, 5'11", 280. Gillette takes the snap. Handoff Curry, nothing but green. Touchdown! The first score of the 2022 regular season to Ashton Curry and the Lakeshore Eagles. Curry got the drive starting with an early run. He ends it off with a touchdown. A 1-yard rush. The extra point up and good. A 7-0 lead with 3:38 to go in the opening quarter. The Eagles look to continue their dominance after forcing a 3-and-out on the Marauders' last drive, as the Marauders will take the field. Coming up next, we'll take a break and see you back for that.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Kickoff set away by Dallas Garlow. It's fielded by the sophomore receiver, Gaines. Wrapped up inside the 30. Well, a 4-down stop in the Eagles' defensive territory ended the Marauders' last drive. We'll see how they come out here at their own 30-yard line.
So early in the season here, Jack, it's going to be important to see Coach Benton see what his team's made of. You have see how they respond early down, only a score, but we'll see how they take being down just a touchdown here.
Dylan Bankowski now lined up in the backfield as the tailback. Usual wide receiver. Now Hanlon splits out to the right. And a flag before the play. Coach, the fact that the Eagles got that 4th down stop and they stopped the focal point of the Dunkirk offense, how much confidence does that give a defense?
Well, that was a big penalty that took away a 1st down in that drive, and I think that something that might come back to bite them. But it's a new set of downs, and they didn't reestablish what they do best, which is run the ball and run play action off of it. A lot harder to do on 1st and 15, however.
1st and 15 is what we do have here from the 26 now. Gaines lined up out wide, near side. Kesmerick across from him. 5'11" against 5'7". It's Kesmerick, the shorter of the two. Hanlon splits out wide again. Sykes throws it up, looking for Gaines, and a flag is thrown. Kesmerick was on him, as was number 10, Vinny Marslick.
Seemed like good coverage there. They got tangled up a little bit, but it was enough for the referee to say it was too much.
Pass interference, the ruling against Kesmerick. Now Aiden has a chat with his interior linebacker, Tommy Martin. Martin, the captain of the defense, also a senior. It's a veteran lineup for the Lakeshore Eagles. Defensively, seniors on the corners, Kesmerick and his partner Drew Russell across the way, both seniors. And 4 of the 5 linebackers seniors as well, just 1 junior up front. The lone safety is Cole Marecki, a junior as well. Marecki not even near the play on that last one, because Merrick had him all alone. 1st and 10 now inside the 45 at the 41-yard line. Sykes under center, takes the snap. Rolls to his right this time. Pressure in his face, releases, incomplete. He was looking for Dylan Bankowski.
Yeah, Sykes had the flood out there. He had 3 receivers. It looked like the underneath receivers were open, and I couldn't tell if he was pressured enough to disrupt that pass, but seemed like the play action worked, and he had his options out in the flat there.
Big number 40, Dallas Garlow, stands at 6'3". He had his arms out wide, hustling after the senior quarterback. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Under 3.5 to go in quarter number 1. A 7-0 lead for the Eagles. thanks to a Ashton Curry 1-yard touchdown run.
Dunkirk spreading it out now with a 2nd and 10.
Sykes to Nealard. With linemen in front of him. Nealard outside, double teamed. A helmet flies off of the defense.
There's a great play call there by Dunkirk. First time they've really shown any kind of spread formation. And use it to their advantage by spreading the field and getting their best player the ball in the open field.
23 on the tackle, no 23 on the roster for Lakeshore. Perhaps a late jersey change. That's what we like to say in the booth there, Mike. If it's not on our roster, we won't take credit for it. 1st and 10 here at the 45 for the Dunkirk Marauders. 7-0 lead for the Eagles. First game of the 2022 high school football season. A rematch of last year's Week 2, a 20-6 Dunkirk victory. Sykes hands off to the fullback Hanlon. He's got plenty of space. Goes around Warecki, and he's down at the 25-yard line.
Nice little underneath belly trap play there by Dunkirk. It caught those linebackers that are very close to the line of scrimmage, I think moving out a little bit. Lakeshore playing really tight with their linebackers, and Dunkirk there able to get underneath them and get a good gain.
19-yard pickup for Hanlon on his first touch of the day. The junior was ready to play on Tuesday. He couldn't wait to start today's game.
And those fullbacks are usually like that. Got to keep those guys hungry, and he showed that he was.
1st and 10 inside the 30 at the 36. 26 make that for Dunkirk. Driving down the field as the first quarter enters the final 2 minutes. And this time the fullback dive of Don Jackson is snuffed out.
Another solid stop by Hopkins, their middle linebacker, is kind of really the only one with any kind of depth there at linebacker. But he all those blockers are covered up for him, and he stepped up every chance he's had to.
A pickup of just 2 on the play will bring up 2nd and 8. It's juniors all the way across the offensive line for Dunkirk. Just 1 played up last year as a sophomore. That was the left tackle, Hernandez. Hanlon again. Plenty of space again. Bumped down hard by Drew Russell. Not before picking up the Marauders' first down inside the 10-yard line.
Yep, Dunkirk sneaking underneath those linebackers again, and another big gain on the same play. I think they got 20 yards last time on it, and the same here, so that brings them down to the 9-yard line.
Vinny Marslick comes to the sideline defensively for Lakeshore on a 1st and goal situation at the 6-yard line. Out wide is Frank Wilson, the junior. Sykes under center with 3 behind him in the backfield. And a flag, as that was an obvious offsides there. Dallas Garlow got a bit jumpy. This Lakeshore Eagles team, their last game played a 34-6 loss to Burgard in the first round of the Chuck Funky Bowl. A lot of this team that we see today got to play in that one, the consolation bracket for those that missed the playoffs. That tournament, frankly, was won by the Dunkirk Marauders. They beat Burgard in the championship 20-8 in Burgard's house, no less, at All High Stadium. First quarter will wind down with the Eagles on top 7-0. We'll take a break on Western New York Athletics and join you for quarter number 2. Right after this, it's high school football on Thursday night on WNY Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Welcome back. It's the second quarter here between Lakeshore and Dunkirk, the first game of the 2022 regular season. As the teams flip field, we take a look at the new weight room for the Lakeshore Eagles. A $40,000 capital project was just completed this past year. Head coach Dan Russell has been running the Iron Eagle lifting program year-round, with a majority of kids coming not only at the varsity level, but mostly from the modified level. 6th and 7th graders hitting the weights 5 times a week as the Lakeshore program looks back to get to the prominence they had 25 years ago. Dan Russell, a former wrestler, big on the weight room, as you see the finalized product on your screen there. First and goal inside the 5-yard line for the Marauders as they have been driving for the past 7 minutes. A keeper for Sykes, pushing the line forward is the fullback Jackson. Touchdown!
Yeah, it was weight room time there on both sides, down on the 1-yard line with the keeper, the sneak, and Dunkirk linemen, they wanted it.
Sykes, you see, maybe a bit shaken up on the play. He met the brunt of 230 Gavin Wicktor and 255 Andrew Hewson. However, Sykes into the end zone for the 3-yard rush. Out comes the kicker, Sierra Jaques, fresh off a soccer game at Silver Creek. A midfielder on the Dunkirk girls soccer team makes the way from Silver Creek to Lakeshore today. The holder is Sykes. Hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. Jaques ties it, 7 apiece. Just 7 seconds into the second quarter.
Well, I think both teams have to be happy the way this started, Jack. You never know what to expect. It's the first game of the year out of your kids, out of your program, really. And early in the season with such a short time to prepare, they only have 11 practices now. It's touch and go, and you really don't know what you have until today. And I think both programs should be proud right now, and we have a football game.
The tunes you hear brought to you by the Lakeshore Pep Band. Eric Blodgett, Pep Band Director, does a fine job here at Lakeshore. Overall game atmosphere, exactly what you want to start your September off, as Blodgett has the band rocking. Something we noticed, the keyboards out today. Not many keyboards you see, Coach.
The keyboards might work now. We'll see how the season goes on, how those keys freeze up, or not. Maybe they have a solution.
Perhaps they switch over to what we heard a lot of back at the Cheektowaga days, the cowbell.
The cowbell.
Hefty appearances at Warrior football games.
We love our percussion at Cheektowaga.
A blooper of a kick is fielded by Aiden Stiles around the 30. He's wrapped up at the 35. Jackson was in there along with number 22, Mike Hanlon, to make the tackle.
Hanlon made a great play there. It looked like that was going to be bounced. That could have been a big gainer. Hanlon stepped in there and he made a good sound tackle.
The only drive that has not gone for a touchdown today was the opener. The Marauders marched inside Lakeshore territory beyond the 50 before a 4th down stop was made by the Eagles defense. The Eagles marched down the field and put up the first 7 points on the day before the Marauders equaled things up just 7 seconds into this second quarter. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics, and we thank you for joining us here this fine Thursday evening in Angola. In shotgun is Gillette. He takes the snap and rolls right. Throws deep, looking for Marecki. It is incomplete. Nealard in coverage on the play.
Yeah, a little sprint out there and well covered. He did have a step, but that's a difficult pass to complete when it's contested.
Cole Marecki last season started defensively as a sophomore. A lot of corner and safety for Marecki. Worked on his hands all offseason. Coach said wasn't the best catcher last year. Worked on catching the football this summer and has come in and won a starting job after mossing the #1 corner, Aiden Kazmarek, in a 7-on-7 earlier this summer. 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line. Gillette takes the snap, hand off to Curry, pushes off one lineman. He meets Hanlon on the outside, continues to move the legs, and is finally taken down by Brian Thurston beyond the 35.
Yeah, one of the first attempts to get to the outside there for Lakeshore. They've been running up the middle with the quarterback counter and the Gibbs, but that was one of the first opportunities to get outside, and Dunkirk pursued well. They had good angles and brings up a 3rd and long.
The difference between the two Lakeshore running backs, Ashton Curry and Vinny Marslick, who we've yet to see at the halfback position. Curry much more downhill. Marslick loves to cut it outside. It's Curry in the backfield for 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. 2 to each side. Gillette rolls to his right. Plenty of space. He'll take it himself. Nealard tries to make a play. Still on his feet is Gillette, and he picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, Dunkirk's going to want to have an answer for Gillette. He continues to run the ball well, inside, outside. He's a threat, and he's completed a long pass, so they need to have an answer for him.
We mentioned that weight room that Lakeshore has put in the last year. At just 15 years old, Gillette benches 275, squats over 300. And, he loves to get the contact on the field as well, Coach. On Tuesday's practice, he was lined up at gunner on the kickoff team. And Coach had to pull him aside and say, that's a positive of playing quarterback. You don't have to play special teams, though he was upset he couldn't get the time.
Well, that's the kind of guy you want with the ball in his hands, though. And, the fact he's got to chase him out of there means something, I'm sure, to Coach. And, it's the kind of guy you want on your team, especially the guy you want in your huddle leading it.
Andrew Garlow comes off the field with an injury. Perhaps something he ate last night, not sitting too well. Andrew Hewson, the 225, 6'2 senior, has Trench Trophy aspirations this year, playing both sides of the line at left tackle and right defensive end.
Just might be the mere 11 days of preparation, too, Jack. Could have something to do with that.
Of course. Of course, both teams starting the season off, that one less day of prep. They get the 10 necessary to be eligible, and one for good luck as well, I would say. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Gillette keeps it himself up the middle. Continues to follow the blocks. Pushed Hanlon to the ground, and he picks up the 1st down. What a run for the sophomore.
Yeah, that right side of the Lakeshore line's been pulling really well, especially number 72, Bean. You can tell that they like him pulling inside. He pulls around outside on the sprint outs. He's been a real weapon for Lakeshore.
A 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line for the Eagles, as their quarterback has gotten them most of the way from the 30 on their own side to the 42. 9:40 to go in this second quarter of play, a 7-7 tie. The Eagles looking to convert for a touchdown on their second drive offensively on the day. Packed stands here at Lakeshore High School from left to right, up and down both sidelines. Gillette looking short, near sideline, caught by Kazmarek, spins away from one tackle. Flags fly across the field as he's taken down by Thurston.
He might tack on a face mask here, Jack. But again, finding his #1 target. And Gillette's having a good start to the season, as is Aiden.
Kazmarek last year set the single season record for yards and receptions with 33 catches, 310 yards for Lakeshore, a predominantly running school were the Eagles for most of their history, so the records were quite low, albeit. However, Kazmarek on pace to set both catches and receiving yard records for all-time stats this season as a senior.
And I see Coach designing those plays for him. That was a nice little mesh play where Kazmarek came all the way across the formation on the other side. Definitely something designed for him, as was his long pass earlier where he ran a wheel down the sideline. So the coach definitely wants to get the ball in his hands, and he's designing his offense around his best players.
The personal foul yardage lined Lakeshore up inside the 20. Now they get a break in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line, approaching 9 minutes to go in the first half. Gillette in shotgun takes a snap, the handoff to Curry. On the left side, has the speed. Curry pushes down Hanlon, and he's taken out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
A lot of penetration up front by Dunkirk. Made Curry bounce that. It's a good thing he did because he had some Dunkirk defenders pursuing him immediately. But again, another good strong run that made something positive out of it.
Couple times we've seen Hanlon get involved in the backfield from the middle linebacker position. Seems to be the first one to the ball, just sometimes the outstretched arm of the Lakeshore offense able to push him away. 2 split to each side for 2nd and 3. Curry in the backfield, Kazmarek in the slot on the left. The keeper rolling right. Gillette tucks it, beats Nealard inside. He's met by 5 Marauders around the goal line. Gillette just shy.
Gillette's getting stronger as the game goes on. And another one tough run after another. Dunkirk's got to really either key on him or, I don't know, figure him out.
Well, here you see the receivers come off the field. Maurer, Murecki, and Kazmarek all to the sidelines in favor of the hefty package up front.
Yeah, look for Lakeshore here to pull some guys and get some numbers at the point of attack and get that 1 yard they need. Punch it in.
Keep your eye out on number 49, the 6'4 junior Troy Kennedy. Lines up at tight end on the left side of the offensive line. Gillette in shotgun. Takes it himself. Throws to the right. Broken up by Nealard. He was looking for Drew Russell.
Yeah, Lakeshore pulled their guys to the left, pulled the ball, and tried to get a little sneaky there.
Dunkirk ready for it, though. Quantier Nealard not afraid to play the pass there. Coach Benton said Nealard was one of the smartest players he's ever coached in his history of coaching. We'll dive in a bit later on Mark Benton's coaching career history, though he has been around town, a Gowanda native. Coached this Dunkirk Marauders team for 10 years back in the 70s and 80s. Comes back just last year. Since then, however, he's said that Quantier Nealard could play any position on the field. He could play safety. He just thinks the game so fast that he's telling everyone else on the offense what to do, even as a running back. You saw him there defensively make the play at the linebacker position.
Well, I know he loves that when your most talented player is also brings those intangibles. It's a special thing to have, and I know Coach is going to take advantage of that. He sniffed that one out. That was not an easy one to figure out there, and he was there.
2nd and goal from the 1 yard line for Lakeshore as they look to regain the lead. 7:07 to go in the first half of play.
I'd look for Lakeshore here to run right behind Leighton Bean. Big number 72. There he is pulling around there.
Curry met by number 3 of Dunkirk. Curry taken down short. Noah Sykes, the quarterback, gets the tackle on the play. Sykes wasn't expected to play a lot of safety today, though he is out there on the short yardage situation. A loss of 3. 3rd down and 4 to go. Coach, do you go back to the air or keep it on the ground with Curry?
Well, I think that depends. If coach is thinking he has 2 downs here to play with, he might be more apt to run it. But if he's gonna kick, he might do something different. He's got his normal spread package out there, but that doesn't mean they're going to throw it.
Kaczmarek in the slot on the left with Maurer to his left outside. In shotgun, Gillette rolls to his right. Pressure coming. Throw picked off. Nealard, interception. Down the sideline. Quantier Nealard from the one of Lakeshore to the house for the Marauders. Dunkirk takes the lead for the first time today.
Jack, you said it. Nealard is, as Coach Benton said, one of the smartest players that he's coached in all his years, and just another example of being in the right place. I'm sure he read that before it even occurred, and a big game-changing play by Nealard just when they needed it. It's a big swing of points, and it's a great situational change for Dunkirk.
A 98-yard interception brought to the house for 6. 13-7 as the Marauders go up for the first time of the 2022 season. And a timeout after the touchdown on the field by the Marauders as they'll discuss the extra point. Well, Coach, we talked about it before that play. Would you go to the air or stick to the running game? Dan Russell decides to go with the passing option, and the sophomore quarterback throws his first interception of the 22 campaign.
It just goes to show you down there. I mean, they were on the 1 yard line. Dunkirk didn't quit, and every play is a new play, and they knocked them back far enough to make it a 50-50 run pass situation. And there we are. The 2 plays later, we are, we're up for Dunkirk. So, a good show of resilience from Dunkirk, and something that Coach Benton should really point to this weekend and next week is that how when we're backed up, these are the kind of things that happen if we keep battling.
5:56 to go in this first half of play. The Marauders send out the kicking unit with Sierra Jaques. She's 1 for 1 on the day and 1 for 1 in her career. Here's attempt number 2. Sykes with the hold. Kick is good. 2 for 2 is Jaques, and the Marauders go up by 7. 14-7 the score for the Marauders. 5:56 to go in the second quarter of play. We'll be back right after this on Western New York Athletics.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Back at Lakeshore in Angola, New York, 14-7. The Marauders take the lead. 5:56 to go in the second quarter of play. Lakeshore set to receive the kickoff. Kaczmarek and Marecki deep to receive. We haven't seen any big returns so far for either team. This one a short kick, fielded at the 35. Cutting to the outside. Aiden Stiles tackled around the 50. It'll be the best starting field position on the day for either team, as the Lakeshore Eagles will start just barely inside Dunkirk territory at the 49. Well, now they'll mark it off back at the 50. I take it back. You can blame Chase Graver and Steve Hanukkah, the linesmen and the lines judges, for that one. Right at midfield, 1st and 10, and a change at quarterback. Jaden Kennedy, the senior, now in shotgun. The returning starter from last year takes the snap, looking deep. He had Kaczmarek. He rolls to his right, will tuck it and run along the sideline. Kennedy to the 30 and out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
Jake, that was what Coach Benton on the Dunkirk side was afraid of. He was afraid of Kennedy's legs, and right away you could tell there's a difference in style between the two quarterbacks. And Kennedy is a little swifter than Gillette, but they both have their own way of getting it done, but Kennedy's way is a little faster.
And just you see there, not with his head down on the sideline is the quarterback, Rob Gillette. Instead, he's right at the sideline greeting his quarterback, receiving the play call from Dan Russell, giving him some props for the big play. 1st and 10 inside Dunkirk territory at the 24. In motion is Kaczmarek to his left. Pass to him. Kaczmarek, nice move inside. He's got space to his left. Aiden puts the shoulder into the defender and is tackled inside the 10-yard line, out of bounds at the 6.
Well, another great example of Coach Russell getting the ball in his best player's hands in space. Another design play specifically for Kaczmarek, and again, it moves the chains.
And a timeout by the Dunkirk Marauders. It was Sincere Sellers who was shaken up on the play. He takes a knee. We will take a timeout for the injury on the field. 5:04 to go in the first half. It's a 14-7 Dunkirk lead.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
A new backfield for the Lakeshore Eagles. It's Jaden Kennedy at quarterback and Vinny Marslick to his left hip. Trips to the left. The keeper for Kennedy. Touchdown! Jaden Kennedy, his first drive of the 22 season, results in a Lakeshore touchdown.
It's a great way to respond for Lakeshore. They didn't drop their heads after that big play by Dunkirk on the interception return. They marched right down, and they're poised to even this up.
We had questions after the interception brought back for 6 on the previous Lakeshore drive. The sophomore quarterback threw that after having a pretty solid start to this game.
Yeah, the one play out of Gillette that was a mistake. I don't think Coach faulted him for that. You know, we have a C as a senior quarterback, because obviously brings something different to the team, and you know, he's got a heck of a 1-2 punch here at Lakeshore.
The extra point kick is up, and that will be just good. Sneaking in about a foot over the crossbar.
It doesn't get much closer than that.
Well, Jaden Kennedy starts his first drive this year with a touchdown after missing one practice this week on Monday. You can tell Dan Russell wanted his senior quarterback to get playing time, be it not as a starter. Coach Russell drives to the house of his senior quarterback to get a workout in so that he's eligible for today's game, proving worthy of some playing time today was Kennedy. And it pays off on his first drive, equaling things up at 14 apiece, under 5 minutes to go in the first half.
That's impressive by Lakeshore. They answered immediately, and here we are tied up. 5 minutes left in the half, and a great ball game in front of us.
If you're just joining us, we welcome you to Western New York Athletics Thursday Night Football. Just one other game going on tonight in Western New York. We're glad you could choose to join us here on WNY Athletics. The Eagles scored first this game. 2 Dunkirk scores later had them up by 7, and now the Marauders look to answer an equalizing touchdown from the senior quarterback Kennedy as the return for Gaines is snuffed out around the 30-yard line.
Aiden Stiles did a great job of staying in his lane, breaking down at the right time there and making a solo tackle. Not an easy job against Nealard.
Boy, this pep band's just going to power right through all the plays, bringing a noise down in the bleachers. A full section filled up. Every instrument you could imagine down there for the Lakeshore pep band. Eric Blodgett leading the way as director. 4:48 to go in the first half, a tie game at 14 apiece. Marauders looking to respond. Their first offensive drive in quite a bit. Their last touch on the offensive side came 7 seconds into this second quarter. It resulted in a touchdown for their quarterback, Noah Sykes. Sykes under center. 1st and 10 from the 30. Bobbles the snap and he catches it. Breaks one tackle, stays on his feet, gets across the 40, and picks up the first down.
Great presence of mind there by Sykes. It could have been disastrous, but he caught his own fumble and scooted his way up down the left sideline there for a first down.
Shades of Josh Allen on Thanksgiving a few years ago, albeit on a first down this time for Sykes. A big play for his team results in a first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
I'm sure Coach Benton would love to establish the run here and right out the quarter and the half with a good solid drive.
6 up on the line for Lakeshore. They send 4. Handoff to Hanlon. Met in the hole. Marecki was there, along with Marslick and Martin making the tackle. A short gain.
Little dive option there from Dunkirk. Be interested to see if they pull that ball and work his way down the line with the option. But again, Dunkirk trying to establish a run.
Hanlon followed his right tackle, Nate Garcia, on that play. 5'11", 280 is the junior right tackle. I asked numerous players on this Dunkirk team who they wouldn't want to do an Oklahoma drill against. They all said number 90. Second and 7 from the 43. And a foul before the play begins. Briggs looked like he jumped on the near side.
Might have been a little play action pass there to Briggs. Might have heard his number called and got a little anxious.
Briggs had one big catch earlier in today's game as it ended the first quarter. One of the few big catches by Dunkirk. Running the ball most of the time here today. One score from their quarterback on a keeper. The other, a pick 6 that went 98 yards for Quantier Nealard. Nealard now lines up in the backfield for the Marauders. One split out wide, it's Jerice Gaines. 2nd and 12 now from the 38-yard line. Hanlon splits out wide to the right, looking left. The ball is caught by the cornerback Sykes as he released it. He caught his own pass. He's taken down by the face mask by Dallas Garlow. Sykes down inside the 45 and an injured Eagle. Boy, we've got a smorgasbord of offense, defense, and injuries on the field on that play. 2:37 to go in the first half of play. We're tied at 14. With injuries on the field, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back after this on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
.237 to go in the first half of play. It's a 14-14 tie as the Dunkirk Marauders continue marching down the field after they gained some help with the penalty yardage of the previous play, a face mask call against the Lakeshore Eagles. That puts the Marauders inside Eagle territory at the 41-yard line. An injury to Blake Aikman, the senior linebacker, puts him on the sidelines, wearing number 23 in green. He's back up and on his feet as the handoff goes to Hanlon on the right side. Continues churning the legs. Big hit from Drew Russell will stop him in his tracks and force him out of bounds shy of the 40-yard line.
Russell, the big corner, the big left corner back there for Lakeshore, just sitting, waiting for that ball to bounce, and he was able to say hello when it did.
He's the Swiss Army knife of this Lakeshore team. Last season, offensively alone, he started at tight end, halfback, wide receiver, and quarterback for the Eagles. And defensively, he moved all around the field except at nose tackle, says Coach. The 6-foot cornerback makes the play defensively with 90 seconds to go in the opening half of play. Dunkirk changing up the formation. Sykes sends Briggs back over to his left. Some miscommunication now as Don Jackson doesn't know where to go, and that'll force Mark Benton to call his second timeout.
Looks like number 8 Gaines was lined up on the wrong side there. With 1:18 left, the coach is going to have to make a decision after this down whether he's going to go for the score or go for the clock.
When you see something like that, Coach, where you've got Gaines lined up on the wrong side, granted he is a sophomore, but we haven't seen that yet so far today, nearly an entire half in. Do you think maybe they're running something different there that we haven't seen that Gaines could be a bit confused on?
It's possible. It's possible. It's a different play, something that he's not accustomed to running, or he's daydreaming.
Always an option as well.
It's usually the case.
Well, it's a beautiful sunset here in Angola, New York. We don't get to see it on our broadcast, but behind us, trust me, folks, make the trip out to Lakeshore for a game this year. It is a beautiful view. Trees all around us. And you get a nice view of the lake on your way in as well. Second down and 10 at the 41. Now 2 receivers to each side and Sykes in shotgun. He'll take the snap and look deep to his left. Gaines is there, and he makes the catch. Jarice Gaines inside the 15 goes up and over the corner Kasmerick and makes the play for a huge Dunkirk first down.
Well, Gaines earning that wasted timeout, but making a big play here. It could be a game changer. They got a minute left, and they're definitely in scoring position. Makes you think that previous play was to him.
First and 10 now. First and goal, rather, at the 10-yard line, and the clock is winding down from 55 and under. Shotgun snap. Over the middle. Oh, what a hit from Briggs as he knocks down the safety Marecki and walks his way into the end zone. The Marauders regain the lead with 43 seconds to go in the first half.
A little quick pop pass there. The free safety was late to adjust and maybe a little too deep for the position of the field they're on. They're down in the red zone there. He's a little tighter situation. You probably want to play a little tighter than that, especially down there. And Dunkirk saw it and exposed them and looking for expand their lead here.
That was 5'11 Briggs knocking down 5'4 Marecki. Goliath takes David down that time, and the extra point attempt from Jaques is blocked at the line. No good. Getting his hand on it was the quarterback we saw previously, Rob Gillette, making a difference on special teams. 20-14 with 43 seconds to go. Lakeshore, a passing offense, Coach. We know they can throw the ball deep. We haven't seen Kennedy do it yet. We could expect to see a quick drive here. 43 seconds. Is there enough time to get down the field?
I think it depends on the return, right? If they get any kind of return here, that's going to really dictate their approach to the remaining seconds. The kickoff from Dunkirk has not been very deep, so it's a good chance they will get a good return, good field position.
Christian Hernandez, the left tackle, will kick again. Boots this one deep. A line drive fielded by Kaczmarek at the 21. Has blockers to his right, stays along the left sideline, and he's finally taken down at the 49-yard line. Ruben Santos makes the tackle. Kaczmarek made about 3 guys miss before that.
So with 3 timeouts left here, Lakeshore has some options. There's very little time on the clock, but one big play will change that approach.
First and 10 from their own 49-yard line. 37 seconds to go. The Eagles down by 6. Kennedy in shotgun with Ashton Curry on his left hip. Trips receivers to the right with the lone receiver Xander Maurer on the left. We've yet to see Maurer targeted. Looking deep, Kennedy rolls to his right. He'll keep it, now toss at the last second, caught by Drew Russell. At the 35-yard line, Drew outstretches his arms last minute and makes the play. I beg your pardon, they rule it incomplete. It looked as though Russell had grabbed it, but they say he dropped it.
Still a great effort from Russell. Takes about 10 seconds off the clock there. And you can see the Lakeshore approach. They want to score.
If nothing else, it stops the clock for the Eagles. 27.8 seconds now on the clock. Mason Thompson to snap to Kennedy in shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. Kennedy drops back 7, rolls to his right, throws on the run, incomplete. Drew Russell, the intended receiver again.
Now, this is important down here for Lakeshore because if I'm Coach Russell, I do not want to punt in this situation.
We've seen a special teams play made already. Dunkirk has been able to make some tackles and get some decent returns so far with their punt return and punting kickoff units. Haven't seen the punt unit yet for either team. It's been a touchdown or a turnover to end every drive.
If I was Dunkirk here, I'd look, draw a screen. Be aware of that.
Kaczmarek in motion to the right side. Kennedy rolls that way as well. Kaczmarek goes deep. Kennedy looks for him along the sideline. It flies out of bounds. The clock stops generously at 14.4 seconds. 4th down from your own 49. It looks like they'll send out the punt unit as Dallas Garlow leads the charge from the sideline. And Rob Gillette will line up for the punt. Dylan Bankowski will receive the punt as he stands at the 25-yard line of Dunkirk.
Believe it's the first punt of the day for either team.
Gillette sends one high in the air. It's short. It'll bounce at the 36 and roll its way inside Dunkirk territory. Not the worst thing in the world for the Eagles as it took off just about all the time that was left. 12 seconds for a ball to go from the 49 to the Dunkirk 24. 2 seconds to go. Folks, we welcome you back to our halftime show after this quarter concludes. We'll recap the first half, take a look across Western New York at what's coming up this weekend on Western New York Athletics. 9 more games broadcast over the next 2 days throughout New York and Pennsylvania. We'll dive into that during our halftime report right here on Western New York Athletics. The final snap of the first half of play. Sykes under center will take the knee to wind things down. Dunkirk not taking any chances, up by 6 to end the first half of play. 20-14 is our score. We'll step aside for these messages from our sponsors and rejoin you for our halftime show.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home. Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
You're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
Being home. Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match.
Welcome back to our halftime show here on Western New York Athletics. A 20-14 lead for the Dunkirk Marauders over the Lakeshore Eagles in week 1 of the regular season. The first time we've gotten to see either of these teams this season. And it started out with a sophomore quarterback, Rob Gillette, leading the way, scoring on his first drive as a quarterback at the varsity level. Coach, what did you like from Rob Gillette's game in that first half when he was under center?
Yeah, so you saw two different quarterbacks. They both had some success, and they both had different styles. But Gillette ran tough. He drove the ball down twice. He had the one mistake with the interception. It was a big mistake, but that shouldn't take away from his effort and what he did for his team leading up to that moment.
It led to a 4-yard touchdown run for Ashton Curry that put his team up 7-zip thanks to the extra point. And then Dunkirk really flipped a switch there. It started with a drive led by the quarterback, Noah Sykes. He capped it off with a 1-yard run. And then the big pick six that was the flipping point of that game. What did you see from Dunkirk's offense? And then that pick six, how crucial was that?
Well, I saw some resilience out of Dunkirk, right? I mean, certainly they had him on the goal line there, and the pick six was the turning point. But even at the end of the half there, the big pass down to set up their last score, that was something that was another big play setting up the lead. So in an offense like Dunkirk's, they kind of thrive on the run, big play, and they're doing it their way, and they're up for it.
Total yardage-wise, it's fairly balanced. Dunkirk just over 160 unofficially. Lakeshore unofficially around 130. But fairly even. We saw just one punt in the entire first half, as it was the one that ended the first half thanks to Rob Gillette winding down 12 seconds on one play. We haven't seen much from special teams. Coach, when you talk about a game that's pretty much this tight going into the second half, how big of a role does special teams play?
Well, certainly the missed extra points are a factor, right? And those games come down to that. Those are big points that you don't really think about till you need them. And this game could certainly come down to a missed kick or two.
Well, as we look towards the second half, Coach, is there anything that you'd like to see the offense of Lakeshore do more, especially now that they've got their senior quarterback under center in Jaden Kennedy?
Well, it's interesting. I think Gillette moved the ball well, and they almost seem more consistent with Gillette. But you can see the potential in their senior leader quarterback, and I can see why Coach wants him on the field. He seems to be very fast, a great athlete, and I think it's going to be really ride on the shoulders of the quarterback that's in there, because both of them had success and in different ways, but it seems to come in waves with them, and whoever's in there, they're going to have the ball in there and the game in their hands and win it for their team.
Now Dunkirk received the opening kick. They were stopped on a 4th down try inside Lakeshore territory. That was the first drive of the game. Flash forward now to the start of the second half, where the Lakeshore Eagles will receive the opening kick. What do you like out of that Dunkirk defense from half number one? Obviously, the pick six is something to talk about. But outside of that, who stood out to you, and what do you think about their defense overall?
Yeah, so again, the resilience that they've shown. They've had the ball moved on them, but when push came to shove, they were pretty physical down in the red zone, and they did answer twice. So I think it's going to come down. We have a tight game here, and it's going to come down to 1 or 2 big plays, I think.
Well, we're glad you could join us here on Western New York Athletics for high school football here on Thursday night. We'll be with you most Thursday nights throughout the high school football season. Next week, we'll take a week off and let you enjoy the Bills season opener in L.A., but we will be live Friday night with Franklinville, Ellicottville, and Wilson. That'll be our crew up in Wilson for Franklinville, Ellicottville. We will be live from Frewsburg, however, Thursday, as producer Tom Prince lets us know. We will be live, so you can double stream the Bills game and us Thursday as well. However, across this weekend, 9 more games to be played here on Western New York Athletics. Tomorrow night, all at 7, Bennett at McDowell in Pennsylvania and Iroquois Southwestern. And then on a tape delay at 10 p.m., you can watch Jamestown at Lancaster, all on WNY Athletics, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And then a full lineup on Saturday. Looport at Lackawanna at 1. Wilson at CSP at 1:30. I'll be watching that game as well. North Tonawanda at West Seneca West at 2. Randolph and Salamanca. Lockport and Hamburg. Pioneer and Depew all at 7 p.m. rounding out your weekend of high school football before next week begins. Week 1, a loaded schedule on Western New York Athletics. We're glad you could start it out with us here today. We'll take a break and rejoin you for half number 2 from Angola as the Lakeshore Eagles look to equalize things and take a lead to start the second half over the Dunkirk Marauders. It's 2014 as we stand. We'll see you for half number 2.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Just about set for half number 2 between the Eagles of Lakeshore High and the Marauders of Dunkirk. About a 30-minute drive separates the two teams. A beautiful sunset here in Angola, New York. A purple haze across the horizon in Angola. A 20-14 lead for the Dunkirk Marauders. The Eagles will receive the kick to start half number 2. We thank you for joining us here on Western New York Athletics. One other game in Western New York tonight. 9 more across the WNYA platforms this weekend. Well, let's dive into our keys to the game that we got from the coaches before the start of tonight's contest. Coach Dan Russell of the Lakeshore Eagles said the first key is staying positive. He knew mistakes would happen when you start a sophomore quarterback, whatever that may be. Said it was about how they reacted with positivity, and the second key was not to overthink it defensively. Play fast and aggressive and do your 1/11th, as Coach McDermott likes to say. For the Dunkirk Marauders, they can't have any jitters and stay the course. Well, they've stayed the course after a fourth down stop on their first drive. A pick six helps them take the lead. And how about a big play on special teams by Don Jackson on the opening kick of half number 2, limiting the return for the Eagles to the 34-yard line. The second key to the game, of course, for Dunkirk being that they can't get caught out of position defensively. They have a few times, a couple big plays for Aiden Kazmarek over the top. The receiver for the Lakeshore Eagles looks to get perhaps a bit more involved in the offense in half number 2, along with the outside wide receiver Xander Maurer, son of volunteer coach Bob Bauer, class of '98 at Lakeshore. He's got a younger brother, Ben, on the JV squad as well, a running back that will likely be up on the team next season. Handoff inside to Curry, bounces it out to the left. Ashton Curry's got plenty of space. Curry past the 50, bumped out of bounds.
Good start for Lakeshore. Come right out of halftime. Maybe saw something on the right side of the Dunkirk defense there. They got a quick good game to put them in positive territory.
Brandon Crowell in his way. Curry gets inside the 40 again. Gain of 2 for 3rd and 1.
You would think Lakeshore is thinking 2 downs here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a run. Or maybe they take a shot and they go up top. Okay, Kazmarek's been their target all day long here. If they're going to take a shot, this might be it.
2 wide to the right with Russell and Maracki. Bad snap. Curry has to fall on it. At the 45, the Eagles recover, but they'll lose 9 yards.
Actually, with Kazmarek out of the game on that play, he's coming back in now for now 4th and long.
Coach, when you were coaching at Cheektowaga, did you script any plays during halftime, out of half?
Yeah, so I'm sure Coach Russell had some things on his list that he hadn't gotten to. I mean, there's a lot of that. You wouldn't reinvent the wheel, but really what he probably did was he probably looked at what Dunkirk was giving him and took the plays he's already came into the game with to give him the best advantage he could. He also probably looked at the things that he did well and he doesn't want to go away from.
4th down, 8 to go. Ball at the 46. Kennedy rolls to his right, ready to tuck it, and he will. Past the 35, he picks up the first down, and he shrugs off a man out of bounds and gets the flag as well. Kennedy with a flip of the football in celebration after moving the chains.
Kennedy on the perimeter is dangerous. He's got some wheels, and again he escapes the pocket, and I think by design. And he's kind of a run-first guy in the perimeter there, and you don't blame him with what he has to work with.
We saw last year Jaden Kennedy took over the game against East Aurora. It was the lone win for the Eagles last season. He nearly did it all by himself with the help of Aiden Kazmarek offensively. Those two marched up and down the field and held on for a one-score victory over the Blue Devils. Here after the penalty yardage is marked off to the 15-yard line. It's a 1st and 10 for Lakeshore, and they're knocking on the door. 3 receivers out to the left with Kazmarek on that side. Marecki loaned to the right, Curry in the backfield. Shotgun snap, handoff, Curry takes it to the left side. Tries to go around Thurston. Thurston has him by the jersey and finally brings him down. Brian Thurston was in there, and he had the arm ready to go to grab onto any sweater he could find.
Yeah, Lakeshore didn't really have numbers out there on the left side. I don't know if Dunkirk's playing to the field, but number 5 was there waiting, and a host of other Dunkirk Marauders.
Loss of 4 on the play will bring up 2nd and 14 at the 19. Lakeshore just one time in the red zone not converting. It was the 98-yard pick 6 for Quantier Nealard back in the first quarter. Shotgun snap, Kennedy rolls right, has the ball tucked under his arm, nowhere to go. He's taken down before the 25-yard line. Hanlon in the backfield, eats him up.
There's that motion wheel play that we saw in the first quarter out of Kazmarek, who did come wide open there. Kennedy had a little pressure there, maybe took his eyes off the downfield, but the play that worked for them in the first quarter, their first big play downfield, was again wide open for him.
3rd down and long at the 27-yard line. Eagles have to get to the 5. We know that they've got receivers that can get open downfield. We've yet to see Kennedy hit on a distanced pass. Kazmarek in the slot on the left. Russell in the slot on the right. Shotgun snap. Kazmarek runs the post. Deep shot for him. Tipped defensively. Hanlon makes the play.
Hanlon in perfect position there. Timed his jump and knocked that down effectively.
Mike Hanlon, without a doubt, a key player on the defense for Dunkirk. Him and Nealard have combined for an impressive performance defensively. A saving play there in the end zone saves a touchdown from being scored. And now 4th and 22. Just under 7 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Lakeshore has not led since the first score of the game. Kennedy rolls right. One blocker in front of him. He's being chased out of the pocket. Throw down the sideline is intercepted. Dylan Bankowski picks it off in the end zone and takes the knee for the touchback.
It's a great play to intercept. You would have liked to see him knock it down there. 4th down, knock it down. But, the young man has himself an interception.
Not a bad way to start the 22 season. Although it will be a net loss of 17. Now with the ball at the 20. Like you say, Coach, you knock it down there, you've got the ball at the 37. Instead, it's 1st and 10 for the Marauders, however. With the lead by 6, they look to add on to it. Nealard back at tailback. Gaines split out wide to the left with Kazmarek in his face up close. 6:48 to go in this third quarter. Marauders looking to add on to the lead. Handoff to Hanlon. He's met in the backfield immediately. Tommy Martin was there along with Blake Hagman.
So immediate penetration there from Lakeshore. You wonder what they cooked up over the course of halftime, because there was more than one green jersey in that backfield immediately.
Dallas Garlow there as well. 6'3", 190 off the edge. If you don't get a block on him, you're not getting around him.
Puts Dunkirk in a 2nd and long, which I'm sure they don't like.
Still perhaps with the lead. Not afraid to run the ball here are the Marauders. Sykes under center, sends Hanlon out to the left. Throws the bubble screen. Nealard hit behind the original first down marker. Taken down before the 20.
Yeah, Dunkirk trying to throw a little swing pass out there to the close side. But again, number 17, Russell, one of their bigger, stronger defensive backs, just sitting there waiting for him. Sitting back in what appears to be a cover 3 and just, right there waiting again, just like before.
Quantier Nealard last season, 151 rushes, 6.8 yards per carry, had 3 touchdowns on the ground as well. You do the math there, 151 rushes, over 1,000 yards on the ground. Senior looking for a big year this year. Perhaps a passing down. 3rd and long. Sykes feeling the pressure, moves out to the right. He's got plenty of space. Marslick chases after him along the sideline. Sykes out of bounds, 15 yards past the yard line to gain.
I believe they're looking to get an out and up to one of their better receivers, just Gaines, number 8. But the immediate pressure actually worked against Lakeshore as that flushed him to the right side, and he picked up a long gain for a 1st down.
That 3-5 defense of the Eagles caught there, sending the house. The lone linebacker left in the middle of the field was Marslick, and he couldn't keep up with the legs of Noah Sykes. Sykes already has a rushing touchdown on the day. Jerice Gaines with the only other offensive touchdown today for Dunkirk, a 4-yard catch. That put the team up 20-14. The missed extra point has us still there. 1st and 10 now at the 43-yard line. 4:10 to go in the 3rd. Nealard to the left side, finds the hole, up to the 50. Garlow makes the tackle.
One of Nealard's better runs today. I know Coach Benton would like to get him going.
And an injury after the play will bring up a timeout on the field. And that's the quarterback, Noah Sykes. A check-in to the other game in Western New York. Amherst on top of Starpoint, 7-0 rather, in the first quarter. As they enter the second quarter of play, nearing halftime, 7-0, the Tigers on top. Just that game happening in Western New York. We'll take a break and come back from this game. 20-14 our score in favor of the Marauders on Western New York Athletics.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Folks, back in the third quarter here at Lakeshore, 20-14, the Marauders lead. We'll talk a bit about the head coach of Dunkirk, Mark Benton. Folks, if there was a Forrest Gump remake in Western New York, Mark Benton would for sure play the lead character. Since the 70s, Benton has been involved with sports in Western New York at every level you can imagine, from varsity football in his 20s as a head coach to setting a New York State track record, as you see, in his 30s, to working side by side for 9 years with Jim Kelly in his 40s during the Super Bowl era of the Buffalo Bills. There you see him with Sabres legend Pat LaFontaine. There's his 4x1 track relay team that set the New York State record when Benton was just 31 years old. But the biggest accomplishment, 50 years running this year, the Turkey Bowl, held at Gowanda High School. The 50th year of that game. As you see, there's the team from the 40th year on your screen now. 50 years in running. Benton, the lone player to play in every game each year. At that game, he's excited to hit number 50 this year. Not talking about hanging it up at all as Benton enters his 70s and continues to be involved. It was a run for Quantier Nealard to start out this set of plays here as he picks up the first down out of the timeout, moves the chains to the 43-yard line. Mark Benton, just a guy that loves sports and football. He's been everywhere, Coach.
Yeah, I think maybe he can race Nealard and see who can win.
Perhaps we'll see that at Gowanda on Thanksgiving. First and 10 at the 43. Handoff to Nealard inside. Has a Lakeshore Eagle on his hip and pulls him down to the ground. It was Blake Hagman.
I know Coach Nealard would love to see, his number one player coming into the season, Nealard, to get a feel for this game and just take it over, especially with a little bit of a lead in the second half. And, maybe sneak behind that defense once they get a little creeped up on the line of scrimmage there.
There you see the total yardage. Fairly even so far. Dunkirk, of course, that pick six, that 98-yard pick six really flips the script there. That's the difference maker so far, 20-14. Can the Eagles force a turnover themselves? Handoff inside, Nealard wrapped up and taken down. Minimal gain, if any. Tommy Martin, number 32, in there first.
Martin said enough of that. He brought up a third down here, so pretty crucial down in a territory where maybe Dunkirk has 2 downs, or maybe they'd like to pin him down if they're not successful here, but I think a big down nonetheless.
3rd and 6 from the 39-yard line of the Eagles. Gains out wide to the left. Thurston moves over to the right. Pitch back to Nealard. Follows Hanlon. Picks up the first down. The legs are moving for Quantier past the 20-yard line. And Nealard continues his dominance on the ground inside the red zone. The Marauders continue to charge.
I think Coach Benton found something there with that 3-3 defense. It really turns into a 5-3 defense with the heavy formation there. They could get a block out on the corner. Nealard can be out there and make it happen. You can tell he's comfortable in the open field. He looked really strong running there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Coach doesn't do a little inside-outside here.
1st and 10, right at the 20. Nealard at tailback. Hanlon and Thurston in front of him. Handoff inside. It was Hanlon who got the touch. No gain. Under 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. The clock ticking away. Dunkirk okay with that. Up by 6. If they can cap this drive off with a touchdown, could be the difference maker in this one.
I think Dunkirk's real comfortable in the situation.
2nd and 10 at the 20. Pitch back, Nealard has to scoop it off the ground. Makes a move to beat 2 defenders in the backfield and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Nice play from Nealard to save a play that could have went for a loss of 5 or 6. Instead, they get back to the 20 for 3rd and 10. The clock ticking down 5, 4, and 3. That will wind down to end the third quarter. We're at the same place we were at halftime, 20-14. The Marauders now driving 20 yards away from the end zone. The next set of plays, folks, could be crucial in the outcome of tonight's contest. Don't miss it. Join us back for the start of the fourth quarter after this on Western New York Athletics.
With exclusive buyer insights and our 100% money-back guarantee, we're confident we'll find buyers for your home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective pediatric care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
As we start the fourth quarter, we appreciate the cheerleading squad at Lakeshore, two-time sectional title championships in the last 3 years. They give the energy to the fans, and the Dunkirk Marauders now at the 20-yard line. Handoff inside, Nealard taken down. Well, how about that? At quarterback on that play, it was Don Jackson, as we've seen. He's the backup quarterback for the Marauders. Sykes moves out of that spot. He went down with that injury. Back defensively, he made a play earlier in the third quarter. So Jackson comes in at quarterback, doesn't throw the ball on 3rd and 10. Let's see what happens here on 4th.
If they're comfortable with Jackson throwing the ball, I know that the tight end's been big, Briggs, a couple times here, and he could definitely get he's got a little space out to the field.
Jackson back to throw, looking left for Gaines. He's got him, but he falls incomplete. Gaines laid out to make the catch. It went off the fingertips in the back of the end zone. Jarice can't hang on. The Eagles defensively do just that. Bend and not break. 1st and 10 from the 20.
Great effort by Gaines there to make a play on the fade. The fade low percentage pass to begin with, but he had a shot at it, but again, a tough catch to make.
What a stop for the Lakeshore Eagles. It was a pick six back in the first quarter that flipped the script of the game. It gave Dunkirk the lead. Lakeshore hasn't come back since. They've tied it, but they have not gone up. Kennedy at quarterback, keeps it himself up the middle, breaks one tackle, pushes out of the way, another to the left side. Kennedy, with one man trailing him, dives and makes the play. What a play for Jaden Kennedy inside Marauder territory.
Kennedy immediately flipping the field for his team right when they needed it to start this quarter. You can see what coach sees in him. He can move.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line. A 61-yard gain for Kennedy. Handoff to Curry on the left side, beats one tackle. Thurston brings him down inside the 20. What a drive for the Lakeshore Eagles.
Curry showing some quick feet in the backfield there. He was immediately met and kind of scooted around the defender to make something happen. And again, a first down.
2 plays later, and they flip the script from the 20 to the 19. That's their own 20 to the Dunkirk 19, of course. 10:35 and counting down in the fourth quarter. A 6-point lead for Dunkirk. The Eagles looking to go back on top for the first time since the opening drive of the game. Curry in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right side. Kennedy in shotgun. Takes the snap at the chest. Tucks it to the left side. At the 10. Lowers the shoulder and makes the play on Sellers and goes out of bounds.
That quarterback counter again. Right behind that big pulling guard from Lakeshore.
That's Landon Bean up front.
Big Bean. He's listed at 295, Landon Bean.
One of those players that's been in the weight room all offseason with Dan Russell. And why wouldn't you be if you're going to be used like that in this offense? Also good to see number 77, Andrew Hewson, on the field for the majority of this game, missing just a couple snaps. Kennedy in shotgun. Keeps it to the right. Being chased outside, Kennedy throws on the run, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Drew Russell sliding across the goal line. Nealard was there, shades of the pick 6 earlier this game.
Deja vu all over again there. I was very close to having a repeat of what flipped this game to begin with.
Nealard in the right place there again. Boy, we've seen Kennedy look at Drew Russell, the senior, both seniors in that lineup. Kazmarek a senior as well, but for one reason or the other, we haven't seen Kazmarek get involved in the offense this second half.
Yeah, it seemed early in the game that they had designed plays that really intended the ball towards Kazmarek, but not so much this second half.
3rd and 2. Kennedy keeps it, busts up the middle to the 5-yard line. He's got the first down.
Kennedy's showing some tough running ability up the middle, which was really in the first half more of a Gillette style, but Kennedy making it happen up the middle as well for first down.
The fans into it here, students and family alike. A student section of about 12 rows up for the Eagles fans. It's the pep band that has put aside the instruments for half number 2, instead choose their voices as the choir cheers on their team inside the 5-yard line. Kennedy pushes Curry to his left hip. 2 receivers to each side. Eagles looking to score since the first score of the game. Kennedy takes the high snap, turns to Kazmarek. That pass hits the ground before the senior receiver could scoop it up. Incomplete. Talk about those design plays for Kazmarek. Looked like one there.
It surely was. You just wonder how you get all the way down here and do a play that has a little fine tuning to it. Maybe a straightforward approach might be a little better in this case.
Seen that a couple times. Of course, that pick 6 came on 3rd down. 3rd and short distance, same sort of situation as we've got here. This time, though, 2nd down and goal. Pushed back to the 5-yard line.
I think oftentimes the less moving parts and plays down here, the better.
3 receivers to the right. Curry in the backfield. Kennedy throws back in the end zone. Touchdown! Aiden Kazmarek makes the grab. The Lakeshore Eagles have tied it. 9:13 to go in the 4th. It's 20 apiece.
Another sprint out play out of Lakeshore on the goal line. He has an opportunity to pass it or run it. He finds his number 1 receiver in the corner of the end zone to hopefully go ahead here.
Well, we said it at the start of the drive, Coach. Where's Kazmarek? He pops wide open in the back of the end zone to tie things at 20. And now the extra point attempt for the lead. And flags from a false start. Well, they're not going to make it easy, Coach.
Not at all. This is a big kick as well.
Jake Hopkins, the junior kicker. He'll have to back up a few more yards.
Coach staying with his kicker here.
A 25-yard extra point attempt. Hopkins 3 steps. The boot is up. That thing would have been good from 40 if it was straight, but it was not. Wide right. We're tied at 20.
Yeah, he was juiced up there for sure. He pounded that, but it was a little off.
Well, the Marauders will look to respond after suffering a touchdown that ties things up for the first time since the first half. 20-20 is the score. 9:13 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll take a break.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
The Marauders lose their quarterback a few drives ago on a defensive play that he made at safety. Since then, Dunkirk has not been able to find the end zone. A 4th down stop inside the red zone of the Eagles. Their last offensive drive ended it. The Eagles, in 2 plays, flipped the script with the legs of Kennedy and Curry, went from 20 to 20. This kick inside the 15 rolls out of bounds. It looked like Dylan Vankowski may have got a fingertip on it. The officials will have a chat. Dan Russell's going to argue his case as well.
It appeared that he changed the trajectory of that ball, but the officials had a better look at it than we did.
Well, they're going to have a chat now. Kevin Dale, the head referee, will eventually make the call here. So it looks as though they're lining it up for a normal kick. Rather, they just say it went out of bounds. So a 1st and 10 for Dunkirk. It moves them all the way to the 40, however. So a ball that rolls inside the 15 will give Dunkirk pretty good field position. Some of their best to start a drive on the day with 9:10 to go. Coach, at this point, you see the quarterback is back out there in Sykes. Do you just keep it on the ground, though?
I think you do what you do, and in Dunkirk's perfect world, they run a 9-minute and 10-second drive that ends in a touchdown.
20-20. Mark Benton, in his 2nd year as head coach, has a chance to pull out some of those kitchen table plays if need be in a tie ball game. However, the power run offense will start off with a quarterback keeper that is snuffed out. Blake Hagman, who has been in and out of the field of play throughout the game, makes the play in the backfield. A loss of 4.
Yeah, Dunkirk has not had a lot of success to that close side of the field, the tight end side of that formation, and once again, it's a loss on that play. Every time they go outside there, it seems to be bad news for them, and now they're in a 2nd and long for a situation.
The clock keeps ticking. Dunkirk not in a rush at all. Folks, 3 games tomorrow on Western New York Athletics. Bennett at McDowell, Iroquois at Southwestern, both at 7. Jamestown at Lancaster on tape delay at 10 p.m. And a timeout called by Mark Benton. And he starts having a chat with his offensive unit right in the center of the field. We'll take a break as well and join you back right after this on Western New York Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Back for the final 8:17 in the fourth quarter here in Angola at Lakeshore High School. A second and 13 from the 37. Sykes again hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, and finally the reinforcements hit home for the Eagles. Drew Russell off the edge makes the play.
Lakeshore switched up their defense there. They went to a too-high look, which they haven't shown much of today, and I'm not sure that it didn't catch Dunkirk off guard.
Another loss on second down. Coach, with a running offense, what does that do, having back-to-back losses to start a drive?
Well, I think first down is the key. If you're the type of offense that Dunkirk wants to run, I've had much success over the years. First down's the key for you. You need positive yards, and when you don't get that, it puts you in a situation you're not comfortable with.
At the 32-yard line, it's 3rd and 18. Nealard, the tailback, just one out wide is Hanlon on the near side. Make it 2 with Gaines as well, and now another man moves in motion, and flags and whistles all over the place. An illegal formation.
I think we had another player lined up incorrectly there. Those things happen, unfortunately, the first week of the year, and really maybe running some things that out of formations you're not practicing all the time. That'll happen on 3rd and 20.
Especially with that running offense, though. You probably don't see them practicing a lot of those deep passing plays, especially just having 10 practices before today's game.
That's right. And, it's difficult to get it to all those situations, right? Certainly, I don't think anyone has a play for 3rd and 25.
Sykes in shotgun. Claps for the snap. Looking right. Deep shot. Briggs is there. It's 2 yards past him. Incomplete. Tristan Briggs has a touchdown already today. The former power back didn't have the speed to get to that one. A good ball from Sykes. Just 2 out of reach for number 28.
Yeah, he was definitely there. He was open. That could have opened things up, but instead, here comes the Dunkirk punt team.
It's the first time we will see this punt team today. 1 punt so far on the game, and it was a Lakeshore one that ended the first half. On 4th and 23, Sellers gives a big boot. A beauty of a punt is fielded with a fair catch. Just past the 40-yard line. Kazmarek makes the play to bring out the Eagles offense. 6:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Lakeshore, who has not led since the first quarter of the game, has a chance to take it right back. 20-20 is our score here on Western New York Athletics. Week 1 high school football. What a way to start the 2022 season. The senior Kennedy quarterback is in shotgun. 2 receivers to each side and Curry in the backfield. Kennedy hands it off and a flag flies. Curry got past the 50. Well, interesting, I've never seen that, Coach. The team on the sideline, the home team, getting his crowd into it to make noise on offense before the snap. Perhaps could have caused some confusion there. We'll see what the call is.
Well, I think they called a legal shift, but the receiver was moving backwards, so I'm not sure if that's the call or what Kevin Dale saw there.
Looks like it will be against the Lakeshore Eagles. Curry again, though, on that play. You see the legs moving, busting a hole out to the left side. Able to pick up a solid 7 or 8 yards on the play that eventually gets negated by the penalty. Boy, this Lakeshore offense, they've got some pieces.
And both coaches wanted to be the more physical team today. And, and you expect Dunkirk to be that team offensively, but, Lakeshore's played a physical game, even though they're spread out. Some power runs by quarterbacks, the lines moving Dunkirk, and, even the running backs have been sharing their legs.
Kennedy able to get a couple yards back after the penalty yardage moved him well behind the line of scrimmage. Now at the 40, it's 12 yards to go on second down. Perhaps this is the time for a shot downfield. We've yet to see it. But, Coach, when you look at the receiver-cornerback matchup, Lakeshore's got 2 receivers out wide in Kaczmarek at 5'7" and Russell at 6 foot. But the corners stand at 6'2" and 6 foot themselves. Not a great matchup there height-wise. We've seen that come into play so far. Kennedy bounces around the pocket, rolls to his left and throws. He's got a man, Russell, and it hits off his hands and falls incomplete.
There might have been a middle screen there gone awry, which puts some linemen downfield.
Penalty against Lakeshore will move them back again. .541 to go. The holding call will move Lakeshore back. It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul rather than from the line of scrimmage, as you see in the NFL, so it backs them up. The hold was, as you see, they march off the yardage rather. The hold occurred at the 34-yard line. It'll put Lakeshore back at their 24. A hefty penalty here.
Those are killers. Those are difficult to deal with, and my opinion's always been that rule is harsh in high school football. It really makes you not want to throw the ball.
For a predominantly passing offense in Lakeshore, well, they'll need to throw the ball a few times here. Second down, 27 to go. Kennedy with pressure, shakes away from one man, rolls to his right. Receivers are too far downfield. He had his running back Curry out of the backfield across the middle, but he leaves it too far in front of him. Coach, is there any thought about going back to Rob Gillette at this point?
I don't think so. In this situation, you even see right there the escapability that Kennedy shows got him out an opportunity to make a play there, and I think Coach made a decision to go with the senior, and he's in a position to win a game in a tight game, so I'd maybe go with the experience.
To the bottom right corner of your screen, you see Coach Russell. Just out of frame is number 21, who's watching the entire game, basically in lockstep with his head coach and defensive coordinator. Sean Kunkel to his right, Dan Russell to his left. Here's Kennedy in the backfield, rolling to his right. He's got Russell in front of him. Kennedy throws deep, looking for Kaczmarek, nearly intercepted. Sykes almost had the game in his hands. Instead, it falls incomplete and will bring up fourth down.
Both teams answering the call here defensively with the game on the line. You couldn't ask for more out of an opening night football game.
The sun is now completely set, pitch black around. We ask that you use your high beams on your way home from Angola. .5:25 to go. 4th and 27. 20-20 the score. Gillette on the field. A great boot this time. Well, it looked like number 6, Dylan Bankowski, called for that fair catch. They don't give it to him. He gets wrapped up anyway at the 45-yard line. That's where the Marauders will take the field. Their last drive started at the 40. This drive, they get an extra 5 yards cushion to start it off. However, they still need 10 to get another first down. First 2 plays of the last drive that the Marauders had went for losses. Coach, what would you draw up here for the Dunkirk Marauders that wouldn't result in losses, potentially?
Again, well,
all hypothetical, of course.
Well, what they used to do is run a quarterback sneak for 5 yards. That'd be frustrating because then that would guarantee the 1st and 5, or 2nd and 5. But again, I think there's enough time in the clock where you do what you do best and you execute and win the football game.
We've seen Sykes take it himself for a touchdown already today. He's under center, however, with 3 backs behind him, Quantier, Nealard, the tail. Hanlon splits out to the left. It's a throwback for Nealard. He breaks 1 tackle, but he cannot break the second. Blake Hagman brings him down around the 50.
Be interesting to see if Coach sees that flag opening up. I know that play's designed to go to Nealard, but both times have been wrapped up. You got a little yards on that one, but I know the play design it goes to him. But that if that tight end ever ran a flag, he'd be wide open, and I think Coach might see that.
The clock continues to tick. The ball at midfield in a tie game, 20-20. The start of the 2022 season has been a good one. And we're in for a good ending here, folks. Stay tuned for the final 4.5. Under center. Sykes hands off to Nealard. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage and dropped. How about Rob Gillette making the play defensively?
Gillette continues to contribute. He should be proud of his effort tonight as a sophomore coming up. And, if it wasn't for Gillette's efforts, I don't think this would be a tie football game.
We mentioned him watching the game offensively from the sideline with the defensive coordinator, Sean Kunkel. Perhaps some knowledge bestowed upon Rob Gillette on the previous drive led to that big play. Under 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. A timeout for the Marauders as they need to draw something up for 3rd and 5. We'll draw something up for you right after this on Western New York Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence.
Big down.
3rd and 5 is the big down as we come back from break. Hanlon goes out to the left. Sykes takes it himself. The line pushes forward. Sykes still has it. He still breaks another tackle, and he's down inside the 35.
The Dunkirk quarterback sneak is lethal.
You said it before the break. Consider that called play number 1 of Mike Fata's commentary career.
Well, Sykes got a big gainer on it. It's hard to account for. Especially in a down like 3rd and 5, and anything could, you have to defend it all. Good call by Coach Benton. I think he ran in the Turkey Bowl game, maybe.
Probably. If not this past year, perhaps in the previous 48. Sykes follows the big center, Nick Solaris, on that play, along with the right guard, Connor Yakubovich. Just continued to push past defenders, and then you saw Blake Hagman get another tackle broken on him as Sykes stepped right out of his tackle. This time he pitches to Nealard on the left side. Hanlon can't get his arm on the blocker. Kazmarek can't make the play. 4 Eagles have to swarm around Nealard to bring him down as we enter the final 3 minutes of play.
Again, that closed tight end side has not really been there today. You had that corner sitting in the flat, and that time it was not Russell, which is usually the corner that's sitting down in the closed side there, but the other cornerback might have been Kazmarek, was sitting waiting.
2.5 to go in the fourth quarter. The Lakeshore crowd getting into it, being prompted by their offensive unit on the sidelines. And a jump on the right side of the line. It was Dallas Garlow who was anxious to get to the backfield. They'll mark off 5 more yards, but it will stop the clock if there's any positive out of that penalty. It doesn't give up the first down. Just second down here. No 2-minute warning in high school football. We roll right past the 2-minute mark. Hanlon in motion again. The keeper for Sykes. This time is met. Right in the middle of the defense is Jake Hopkins, along with Tommy Martin. Rob Gillette there as well, ready to make the tackle. First and 10 as the clock stops to move the chain gang, but Dunkirk continues to march down into the red zone.
Yeah, another sneak by Sykes. And what's so frustrating about that for the defense is if you have to defend a quarterback sneak and worry about that, man, that really opens up a lot of other things for you. So hopefully you have a guy in the middle there that can take care of that himself, or 2 guys, because if you can quarterback sneak for 5 yards every time, it's going to be it's going to spell disaster for you defensively.
.90 seconds to go. Handoff. Nealard bowls over a defender. He's down inside the 15 as Drew Russell made the tackle.
So at about the 14-yard line, time is starting to become a factor here. You got about a minute left in the game, and it might be start time to think about using timeouts.
On the defensive side, Coach, how do you counter this run attack that has seemingly been unstoppable this drive?
Well, I think they played well in spurts. It's really a matter of playing your responsibility and not overplaying one part of the formation.
Sykes under center. Clock under 50. Crowd gets loud. Sykes tries the sneak. He's stuffed, but he continues to move the legs. Down inside the 5. It'll stop the clock to move the chain marker. It'll be a 1st and goal.
If they score on this drive, you could point to that play where Sykes just willed himself forward there. That Lakeshore did a good job. They put 2 players in the A-gaps, which initially stopped him, but he rolled off to the left side and just bowled his way through. That was all a matter of will out of quarterback Sykes.
Lakeshore takes a timeout with 33 seconds to go. It's been all on the ground for Dunkirk so far today. Just 9 unofficial pass attempts, 5 completions for the Marauders for just 55 yards. The other 160 of their offense come from 25 rushes. Nealard leading the way there.
So I imagine Coach Benton right now in the huddle is just going over the situation, which you have 1 timeout remaining, if my board is correct here, which I'm sure it is. And, you have 30 seconds, so, the playing this the wrong way could lose it for you, or remain tied, and if you play it the right way, it could win it for you, but it's not what the coach knows, it's what the kids know, and, I'm sure Coach is going over those scenarios right now. He may have called 2 plays right there.
A pass and a run?
Or a run and a run with a timeout.
Sykes in shotgun. No one behind him. Briggs out far to the right. Hanlon in the slot to the right. And a flag. As the Lakeshore defensive line applauds the officials' ruling, as do the Lakeshore students. Coach Benton said he had butterflies in his stomach before the game started. You can imagine them flying around now. 33 seconds to go. A tie ball game inside the 10-yard line. Dunkirk just 10 yards away from winning Their 4th game in 2 years and their 1st game of the 2022 season. Sykes in shotguns. High snap goes over him. He fumbles the recovery. Now scoops it up. Can he make something out of it? He flies it back and out of bounds.
Just disaster for Dunkirk there. A host of things going wrong, and definitely an effect on this football game.
Was it a throw out of bounds? He was stumbling to the ground. If his knee hit, they would be back at the 28-yard line. Producer Tom Prince says could be intentional grounding as well, though I thought this year they took out, if you're out of the pocket, you're able to throw out of bounds. They do say it's intentional grounding. The Lakeshore fans erupt. What a play.
Lakeshore hanging tough down there. And
20-20 the score.
It was out of the pocket, but they didn't get that back to the line of scrimmage. So that was a throw out of bounds, which is the intentional grounding because of the block.
There you hear the explanation. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. If he threw it downfield and beyond the end zone, then you'd say a fair throwaway. But now Lakeshore takes a timeout, and why not? 24 seconds on the clock. The only positive out of that play for Dunkirk is that 11 seconds went down off the clock. If you would consider that a positive, bringing up 2nd down, though it's 2nd and goal from the 33.
We've seen, though, some plays made by number 8 Gaines, number 28, the tight end Briggs. They have some big receivers, so they're going to have some time here to take a shot. It's a long shot, but they do have an opportunity to win this game at the very end here with a long deep pass.
Well, Mark Benton told me Tuesday that he, throughout his 50-plus years of experience of coaching, most of his game-winning plays were drawn up on the spot in the dirt with his team. He says no one's taught him anything about how to draw up an offense. It's all based on one formation that you've seen all game, and out of that come these kitchen table plays, as he likes to call them.
I think they're Turkey Bowl plays from what I'm learning here.
Turkey Bowl plays as well, though that game just 7-on-7 could work out in Dunkirk's favor here with 11 on their offensive side. 24 seconds to go. 2nd and goal from the 34. Sykes in shotgun, plenty of time, throws deep, looking for Briggs. It's well short, incomplete. The Lakeshore fans get a bit more energetic, though it brings up 3rd down. Coach, you've got a kicker. Hypothetically, you've got a kicker new to the football field this year. She kicked 2 extra points earlier this game. She missed the 3rd. Do you think about a field goal in this situation and go pick up 10 yards and try to send out your kicker for a 30, 35-yarder?
Well, it all depends on her range, right? You know, there are not many kickers in high school that are going to consistently do that for you, but if there's a chance and that's the situation what it dictates, sure, you take a chance.
What a storyline that would be. We'll see if it plays out. Sykes in shotgun, looks to his left this time, and he goes that way. It's well over the head of Gaines and intercepted.
Good, not many options in that situation. You're kind of forced to chuck it up there and hope for the best. And Lakeshore holds, and looks like we're going overtime.
Vinny Marslick makes the play defensively for a player that has not played since modified. He played his 7th grade year, instead has been a lacrosse player for Lakeshore for years. He's back for his senior year, and he makes a pick to not allow a 4th down attempt for the Marauders on what would have been the final drive of regulation. 11 seconds to go. 1 timeout left for Dunkirk. The Eagles could kneel this one out, and they do.
What a turn of events, though, where Dunkirk had a 1st and 5 to win the game, and they ended up, 3rd and forever. and heading into overtime.
Boy, Coach Benton said before the game, the first key we mentioned at halftime was don't get the jitters, just stay the course. Well, the jitters got to Nick Solaris on that 1st and goal at the 5. A snap well over the head of Noah Sykes, who was playing in shotgun for the first time in 3 quarters, was what it felt like at least. It goes well over his head and leads to where we are now, overtime. An extra period of play will come your way from Lakeshore. What a way to start the 2022 season. And you can finish this game with us right after this.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
After a COVID season in 2020 led to a spring football season in 2021, this past offseason, the longest in 2 years, ending last year in November. We're back here in September of 2022, and the first game officially kicked off at 6:30 p.m. tonight. It was right here in Angola as the Lakeshore Eagles are tied with the Dunkirk Marauders at 20, entering overtime. The Marauders had a chance with 1.5 minutes to play in the 4th at the 5-yard line to seal the victory. With a power-running offense, Coach Fata, you expect them to stick to that offense. Instead, they choose to go somewhere else.
Yeah, you would think that that's the best-case scenario for a team like Dunkirk, that who was running even the quarterback sneak for 10 yards at a time, right? You'd really expect them to run a couple plays and maybe even call 2 plays at a time. Now, time was a factor, but you had a timeout, and you were kind of in a position that you thrive for, the goal line situation. That's your offense. But mistakes are, there's still kids out there. Mistakes happen, and here we are. It's good for us. It's overtime.
We'll have to call Frank Wolf after this one and see if we get paid a little extra for overtime ourselves.
Does it work like that?
Well, I guess we'll find out on Friday. We head to overtime, college style. The Eagles get the ball at the 20. The Marauders will get it after that with a chance to respond. If you're familiar with the college football overtime rules, very similar here at the high school level in Western New York. Section 6, Class B matchup here today between Lakeshore and Dunkirk. The Marauders won last year's meeting between these two 20-6. The next most recent game was a 32-22 victory by the Marauders back in 2019. The Eagles looking to win their first game in 4 years over these Marauders. 1st and 10 from the 20 to start overtime.
Dunkirk in a 4 shell.
Curry. Touchdown. A flag on the play. Ashton Curry has been dominant when he's gotten the ball in space.
Very interesting there. Dunkirk chose to play a cover 4, it seemed, 4 across the goal line, which is a really weak box, and Lakeshore basically walked in from 20 yards out.
They'll walk back, however, to the 15. So they'll replay the down. They won't get the touchdown, but they will get first down. 1st and 10 at the 15 now. 1st and 5, rather. Kennedy in shotgun, takes a snap, handoff to Curry, goes to the left side now. Curry tries to beat the defense to the sideline, and he trips up over the 15-yard line.
Curry to the left side, slips for a gain of about 2.
Minimal gain on the run. What do you see from that Dunkirk defense?
Well, you had the defensive line that seemed to crash inside, which is fortunate because they had what seemed to be even a 4-man box there. They really respected the trips on the far side or the open side here, and it seemed like the defensive backs were across the goal line.
Expecting a deep shot, rather, or maybe
as deep as it gets from here, I guess.
Well, they're 13 yards out, 2nd and 3. Kennedy in shotgun with Curry to his right. Keeps it. Kennedy, left side, pushes a man down with the stiff arm as Thurston got it. But perhaps it was a push to the face. Could be a face mask. We'll see what the call is, but Lakeshore already walked into the end zone this possession in overtime. Penalties have brought them back. The officials haven't really been too much involved in changing this game, Coach, so far. It doesn't seem, at least. They've called what's needed to be called. But they do call the face mask on Curry.
Yeah, for the first game, which can be really sloppy, I think other than some face masks and some false starts, it's been a clean game. It's been pretty even on both sides.
Luckily, we've got officials here today that are Section 6 registered, and we were worried for a bit earlier this week, thinking that we wouldn't have the refs we're used to, as the contract between Section 6 and their officials was agreed to disagree and push it off until the winter season. They came back to allow the kids to play as scheduled. As recently as Tuesday, they came to an agreement. Section 6 and the officials did. So we get high school football as scheduled. Glad that could happen. We'll see where things go in the winter. Tough to be an official these days.
Certainly. These coaches are rough.
As a former coach, I'm sure you mean yourself. But we will leave it at that. 2nd down and 5 at the 15 in overtime. The Eagles with the first possession of overtime. Feels like they've been at 1st and 2nd down for 8 plays. It's only been 5. Handoff to Curry. Inside, gets wrapped up and taken down.
Curry wrapped up for a loss.
The big Miguel Santiago makes the play.
You wonder what conditioning, how that's involved right now. You do see some guys with their hands in their hips, but when it comes down to this time of game, you got to suck it up and play the situation. You just wonder what factor conditioning plays into this point in the game.
We mentioned that 10 days of practice. Coach, would you rather have more than 10 practices before a season begins?
So it's twofold. These days, these guys work year-round, so there's that factor. But 10 days is, to pull a group together in 10 days, you got to really be planned and organized.
Kennedy to the left, another flag. That time on 3rd and 7. Again, against Lakeshore. Well, Dan Russell's not going to get an easy win his first week this year. Having to work for everything, and he's probably used every play on his play sheet at least once today. Perhaps we haven't seen them all play out, but we've seen them start.
At this point, he just needs one, right?
That's it. 3rd and 12 now at the 22. It's been 5 plays to get us to 3rd down. Make it 6 now, actually. 6 plays to get us to third down. It's 3rd and 12 from the 22. First drive of overtime. Kennedy in shotgun. Takes the snap. To the left side. Has a blocker. Gets to the 15. Just shy of it. And goes out of bounds. The defensive play for Mike Hanlon.
Yeah, Coach brought Hanlon down to the outside of the trips formation out there and really took that away immediately.
The Lakeshore Eagles led the first score of the game. They scored on their first offensive possession after forcing a turnover on downs against the Dunkirk defense. We had 2 punts all game in the regular time. Now in overtime, our first 4th down. 4th and 7 at the 17 for Lakeshore. Keep an eye out on number 17, Aiden Kazmarek, in trips to the right. Kennedy rolls to the right. A flag as well. Well, Kennedy got past the first down marker. We'll see if it stands.
Yeah, you're going to get a hold on your right tackle there. Again, we talked about conditioning playing a factor, and that that's something that happens when you're tired. You might grab somebody, or you might have moved your feet in the first quarter. So definitely hold on the corner. A good call there by Kevin Dale.
Gavin Wickdor on the right side in the tackle position, 6'2", 230. The junior starting his first game. He played a little bit last year in that Chuck Funky Bowl, where the Eagles lost to Burgard in the first round of that tournament. (20-20) our score. Lakeshore led that first score of the game. Back-to-back scores from Dunkirk thanks to an offensive rushing touchdown from their quarterback Sykes and a pick 6 that went 98 yards to the house for Quantier Nealard, gave them the lead 14-7. The Eagles tied it at 14 with a run of Ashton Curry. Make that Jaden Kennedy, rather. Kennedy on his first drive ran one in after replacing the sophomore Rob Gillette at quarterback, and now Kennedy has a chance on 4th and long in overtime. For Verts. Kennedy throws to the end zone, wide open! Kazmarek! Touchdown! 4th and 20 from the 30 to the house. The Eagles take the lead for the first time since the first quarter.
What an absolute clutch.
Fans may think this game's over. It is not. Folks are starting to head to the exits. The Dunkirk Marauders will have a chance to respond. 26-20 with the extra point attempt on the way.
These fans are going to have to wait a while to get their headlights on. The bright lights, right?
It's blocked. Sykes came in from the safety position and blocked it, and now hobbling on his left leg to the sideline. The quarterback for the Marauders makes the play defensively on special teams. A 6-point lead for the Lakeshore Eagles, 26-20, after a 10-play overtime session on the drive that never gained a first down. 4th and 20, they convert.
So that extra point could come into play once again. It could be a very big factor in how this plays out.
We've seen a blocked extra point for both teams now. The Dunkirk Marauders will get a chance offensively. How much of a juice boost does this give the Lakeshore defense after watching their offense go out there? And also, by the way, giving them some chance to rest up on the sideline.
Right, and the momentum and the energy's on their side, and usually when you start this off, you want to start on defense, which Dunkirk won the toss and preferred to do that. But at this point, all the momentum's going the other way with Lakeshore scoring a touchdown, and they could be 4 downs away from winning this.
Kaczmarek, 2 touchdowns on the day. He's looking to have a big senior season, and boy, it's starting off on a high note. Dunkirk will get the ball offensively at the 20. Perhaps they will not line up in shotgun, though we'll look to see if Sykes is on the field here. He hobbled off the previous play.
Well, I think it's important for Dunkirk to stay with what they do best, and if there's ever a time to, for number 7, Nealard, to come through for his team, now's the time.
Nealard, the tailback. Sykes on the field under center. Nick Solaris doesn't have to worry about a high snap here. Into the hands of Sykes. He keeps it, rolls right. Looking end zone. Briggs is there. Sykes is held at the knee, throws to the goal line. It falls incomplete, intended for Gaines.
Sykes hanging tough in the pocket there, gives receiver a chance.
Boy, Dallas Garlow was hanging on to his right leg. Sykes didn't seem bothered at all. Stood in the pocket and delivered the throw just a bit short.
Well, 2nd and 10 after an incomplete pass. It's always interesting to see what coach is thinking here. If usually it's a high percentage run down after an incomplete pass on 1st down, but wondering if overtime really changes his thinking on that.
Both coaches thought that this would be a very close game before the contest. So they're very evenly matched, though they have different strengths and weaknesses. Overall, you wouldn't say one is the favorite over the other entering week 1 especially. Nealard, the tailback, for 2nd and 10 at the 20. The first drive offensively for Dunkirk in overtime. Rolling right, the throw is caught. Hanlon tackled at the 20-yard line. The 10, rather.
It's a great play design by Dunkirk there, where they finally put that cornerback sitting in a flat in a conflict with the rolling out quarterback at him and someone over the top and underneath there. Great play design, great call, putting that cornerback in a conflict.
The fans haven't left just yet, though they thought they were about to. Student section still packed up and down the near sideline, watching across the newly finished track that was put in last year. The grass field has seen plenty of feet marching all over it today into overtime. Up the middle, Sykes keeps it. The line continues to push into the 10-yard line. It's a 1st down for Dunkirk.
Sykes again, it's inspiring to watch him plow ahead there and give it up for his team.
Bennett at McDowell, Iroquois at Southwestern, and Jamestown at Lancaster, all on Western New York Athletics tomorrow night, and Saturday, Newport at Lackawanna, Wilson at CSP, among others, all on Western New York Athletics Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Glad you could join us for overtime football in Lakeshore. The handoff on the right side. Hanlon is met at the hole and pushed back to the 10-yard line. Hanlon didn't go down easy, but Tommy Martin definitely didn't give him any space.
Coach Benton tries to go to the quick dive there and getting the defense to be widening, but not happening. The Lakeshore defense right there, and I believe they outnumber them on the short side there.
Tommy Martin, like his coach, is a wrestler. Dan Russell, a wrestler back in his day at Brockport High School. He's big on the wrestlers playing football. And you see there the technique in the hole from Tommy Martin. Wrapping up down low. 2nd and 5 at the 5-yard line. Nealard, the tailback. Hanlon to the right. Jackson to the left. Hand off to Nealard. He is wrapped up again. Hagman on the tackle. He's held before the goal line. 3rd down.
Lakeshore had 2 guys waiting. So you wonder what happened at the end of the game, if that has influence on coach's play call here. That's almost the identical spot on the field. He's like 5 yards away, 3rd and 4. Be interesting to see how he proceeds here.
Under center is Sykes. Takes a snap. Handoff Nealard. He trips. He lost the football. Where is it? Lakeshore's got it. The Eagles win it on a fumble recovery in overtime. Dallas Garlow recovers the fumble, and the Eagles start off the 2022 season with a 26-20 victory.
That's your final, folks. 26-20, Lakeshore Eagles.
Turnovers have cost the game for the Marauders. Resiliency have won it for the Eagles.
Before the game, Coach Benton mentioned turning the ball over and fumbling specifically as one of his concerns because it's an early season game, and you know, those are often games where you typically do have the sloppiness, and at the end, that's what cost them.
After all the penalties that the Lakeshore offense had to face in their overtime possession of the football, they finally score a 30-yard touchdown with their go-to receiver, Aiden Kazmarek. The big-time players make the big-time plays in the big-time moments. That's what Kazmarek did on his offensive possession. Quantier Nealard had the chance to respond offensively for the Marauders. Can't hang on to the football. The Eagles recover with Mark Garlow, and that does it. The Eagles beat the Marauders for the first time in 5 seasons, and they start off their 2022 season with a victory at home.
It's a great program win, too, for Lakeshore, who, you know, Coach Russell's been building the program. It's his 5th year, and, you know, that's with the COVID kind of goofy couple years there that, you know, it's really hard for continuity, but his numbers are up. As you highlighted, his weight room is in place, and, you know, these are the kind of games that you hinge on a play or two, but they're program builders, and, you know, good for him and his kids for grinding through today.
And not just the fumble being the reason for victory. Prior on that drive, Blake Hageman with a big tackle, Tommy Martin with a big tackle, meeting running backs in the hole, stopping that from breaking through to the end zone that we've seen could have happened numerous times. Now at this point, we'll go down on the field and pick up as much as we can from Terry Krunick's presentation as we award the character athletes of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's Character Award, sponsored by Cross Training Athletics, Section 6, and Anderson's Ice Cream, will be presented to the athletes who have set the example in speech, conduct, love, faith, and integrity. Today's winners are, from Dunkirk, number 67, Nate Garcia. And from Lakeshore, number 44, Jake Hopkins. Congratulations, men.
Garcia and Hopkins, your character athletes of the game. 26-20, the final score from Angola. The Lakeshore Eagles start off the season with a victory as they beat the Marauders in overtime. Well, we thank you for joining us here tonight on Thursday Night Football in Western New York on Western New York Athletics. For our entire crew, BJ Novak, Tom Prince, Mike Fata, I'm Jack Cruiser, saying we'll see you next week, and I bid you adieu.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.